All right, so I am here with our Minnie and Fitz F1b St. Berdoodle litter. They are 3 weeks old this week, and so as you can see, they're a lot more alert. They're up, they're looking around, they're starting to walk around a little bit. They actually, I've seen a couple of them eat out of Minnie's dog food bowl as well. I've seen them go over there for the kibble. Okay, so right here we have Swiss. Swiss is one of the cream parties. You can tell him he's got this brown that goes right here on both sides of his nose, but then the white blaze, it actually cuts through on both sides of the brown, which is kind of cute. He's got these white strips that go down both sides there with the brown here in the middle, so it's really cute. Swiss today weighed 4.44, and so he gained over a pound today. These bigger ones are definitely the ones that are starting to kind of eat kibble a little bit and whatnot, so they're doing really well. Oh, also Swiss, we've talked about this before, but I'll talk about it and this again. So wave-wise, he kind of has like medium wave to his coat. That's what we're observing so far. I'm gonna put Gouda up here too, so you can kind of see. So when you compare the two, his just has a little bit straighter coat, where there's a little bit more wave on the forehead and on the ears here. But they really do look a lot alike. The biggest thing is that, as I mentioned before, Swiss has this brown that goes on both sides of the nose, where Gouda doesn't. He's got the white that comes down from the blaze on both sides. And Gouda weighed 4 pounds 3 ounces today. And so he gained actually over a pound, because he was 2.96 last week and he's 4.03 this week. So he is doing really well and getting big. Yeah. And he's super chill too, actually. Actually, both of these two were like super easy to get pictures of, but you can tell it's because that they're always full, because they're so big. They aren't wanting for food at all, where the little ones have to fight for it a little bit more. All right, so here we have little Goat. And Goat is the one that has this half mustache that goes on this side of his mouth here, so you can tell Goat from that. And he weighed 3.47 today, and he was 2.78 last week. And so he gained just under a pound. So pretty close, but just under. Traditional tri markings, wavier coat. So for sure his coat is wavier than both Swiss and Gouda. So he definitely is going to have more of a curly coat than those other two. All right, next here we have Blue. Again, traditional tri collar. Blue weighed 3.54, so him and Goat were like right there together. They're super close in size. Goat is a little bit darker than Blue. Blue's brown is just a little bit redder than Goat's, but very similar bone structure, wave to their coat, size, all of that. So very similar. Next here we have little Cheddar. So Cheddar is definitely still the smallest. You can tell he thinks he's starving to death. He's been up here for a while for pictures, and so he just thinks it is time to go eat for sure. He weighed 2.88 today. And last week he weighed exactly 2 pounds. So he almost gained a pound. Close, but just not quite. So that is little Cheddar. All right, so next here we have Parm. And Parm is another of the reverse tries. Of the cream parties. His markings are just a little bit lighter. So the brown or the tan is just a little bit lighter. He also has the curliest of the three cream party males. His is the curliest. He came in at 4.43. So he actually weighed more than Gouda this week, and just a tiny bit under Swiss. So the three cream parties are actually bigger than all of the traditional tri-males. And so the only one that is close is Ricotta here. So Ricotta is the last traditional tri. He weighed 4.43, so he actually weighed more than Gouda, and so he's definitely the largest of the traditional tri males. He is the largest. He's just got a little bit bigger bone structure, a little bit taller, and whatnot. So these two are like very, very similar in size and bone structure. He might have just a little bit blockier head, but they're pretty similar. All right, so that is the last of the boys. All right, so here we have the first of our girls. This is cute Bree, who has been the biggest the entire time, and she still is. She weighed 4.57 today, and so she is still holding strong for being the largest and the biggest weight. And the sleepiest. She's little Miss Sleepy. She is similar to Parm with her cream party markings and her coat. So both of them have the waviest coats of the cream parties, and her markings are just a little bit lighter than both Swiss and Gouda. But yeah, she's a big girl. She's big. Next, we have little Mozzarella, who we were not sure if she was even going to make it because she was so tiny for so long. She still is just a little squirt. She only weighed 2.53 today, and so she actually was the smallest today. And so she actually has a flatter coat, similar to Gouda's. They both have the straightest coats in the litter. But yeah, she is just a little squirt, but she is gaining. So she didn't quite gain a pound this week, but she is still putting on weight. And as they get another week old, so next week is when we will introduce their kibble to them. And so when we do that, they usually will start putting on more pounds as well, because they're not just relying on mom's milk. And with 10 puppies on Minnie, it's been a bit of a stretch for Minnie, but she's done good. They were able to make it. We weren't sure that she would, so we're so happy that she's still here. All right, and here is cute Feta. Feta has, her coat is in between Brie and Mozzarella's, so she is not as curly as Brie, but she is not as straight as Mozzarella. And so she's just kind of in between. And I mean, we'll see more come out as they get older, but that's just what we're observing at this point with their coats and whatnot. She kind of has a little bit of a half mustache as well. I think she's darling. I think she's so cute. And she weighed 3.49. No, that's not true. 3.99. She was almost 4 pounds. And so she gained, she gained exactly a pound this week. But I mean, when you compare the fact that her and Mozzarella and Cheddar were all the smallest, they were all just a pound when they were born, and it took them a minute to take off. Like all of a sudden she just took off this last week, and yeah, she's getting big. So she's pretty solid as well, and has a little bit bigger head on her as well. So I anticipate that she's going to be a bigger dog as well. So yeah, that is the last of our F1b St. Berdoodle litter. We do have openings on our deposit spot, though we're not taking deposits on specific puppies at this point. When they are 6 weeks old, we will make official picks on the litter in order of deposit. And so, yeah, if you are looking for a St. Berdoodle, but maybe don't want to deal with that, 120, 150 pound dog, but still want the temperament of the St. Bernard, a little bit lower key, F1Bs are a great alternative. So just check out our website at rockyridgetribe.com or Instagram at rockyridge18. We will see you next week.